Is our markets live? How is everyone doing this morning? Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. We are looking to open up hopefully here in the green on the last day of the year. We'll start with what works 24 hours, and we know that is the world of crypto. Bitcoin right back up at 95,541 here. So we do see that we're developing a pretty good uh, support zone right around that 91 800 900 range. That's been holding up here going back to just around Thanksgiving. So yeah, we have completed a round trip though. I mean, we've gone up there and you can see we've hit it once, we hit it twice, we hit it 3 times, and then 2 days in a row. So like to see us make a little bit of move above that. Let's see if we can break above this 50-day MA here today. So, my first price target today is looking at about 96 500 550. Let's say 96 550 is my target on the north side here today to keep an eye on. Anything above that pulls us out of just regular range trading and tells us we have an actual move happening, either a continuation to the north or south. But, that's what I'm looking at. Anything in between that 91 800 area or 96 581 sort of, ho hum, what's going on? Not much, don't care. There's a pretty wide, $5,000 gap in between those two, so it isn't necessarily nothing. But in the world of Bitcoin, where volatility moves at 100 vols, that is pretty much a small move. Speaking about things that aren't moving, very much, we've talked about this gold, even on the daily chart here, just not much movement there at all. If you look at the hourly chart, you see here not really much going on. When you get into the middle little ones, you see a little bit there, but 26.11. Yesterday we were at like 26.19. So again, not seeing a huge amount of movement there. Silver, a little bit of a slide back down here. It was, trying to break 30 for about 5 days, wasn't able to hold above $30. Now breaking back down to 28.82. And I'll tell you, this starts to get interesting for a short position, maybe if it breaks a little bit further south here, because your next true support is really the 27.82 area and then down to this 26.50 area. So we could see a little bit of a sell-off in silver here. So that's, if it holds right where it is now, we got a little bit of a double bottom. Maybe we can get a little bit of a move back up to the top side. But if we don't, that's what we're sort of looking at here, is a continued slide. Copper down about 1.47%. Another one similar to silver that looks like it could see a little bit more weakness, have a little bit more downside to it. Nat gas is pulling back here about 5% now this morning, back towards the lows of the day. I did mention that big beat yesterday, said he was going to short UNG. This was why we've seen anything that sort of takes off, whether it be crypto, whether it be Nvidia, Tesla, MicroStrategy, whatever it might be. We've seen it, a quick mean reversion usually out of these. So that was, I believe, Steve's philosophy there, and it has definitely played out nicely for him. SPY so far ready to open up about a quarter of a point, so it's been a little hectic here this morning. We are trading right about in the middle of the trading range of pre-market. We are up about a quarter of a point, like I said, but we did lose 1.14% yesterday. And then if we look at QQQ, very similar setup. We lost 1.33% yesterday, and we're up about 0.22. You can see on QQQ, though, since about 8:45, we have been moving down again here. Not much. We don't have any, to my knowledge, any big economic. Actually, I'm going to check that before I say it to you. But I don't believe we have any big economic data that would be coming out today or anything. Give me 1 second. Economic calendar. We got the home price index, the Case-Shiller. I don't think that's going to move markets at all today. I do want to point out we will see initial jobless claims on Thursday morning, 8:30 before the market opens. So keep that in mind. That will be the next sort of big data point to keep an eye on. And then on Friday, we're going to have ISM manufacturing. So a light week in general. There are some Fed talk speakers going to be out there and about. I did see oil is moving back up. It's broken above that 70 handle, in fact, up over 71 here. So oil getting expensive again, nowhere near the levels we saw back in October. But you can see here we've broken, we've got a higher high versus, let's do this on the daily chart here. I can pull out my old stuff. But what I'm looking at here is, we got a little bit of a higher high here and a higher low still in play. So crude could still move up here. Part of it is a play upon the fact that it is cold around the world, colder than expected, and expected to be that way for the winter. So there is, some factors at play there. But WTI and Brent both moving up, so gas prices look like they'll be ending up high. What is interesting is we just have seen a surge over the last hour in the treasury rates again. To be honest with you, this starts to worry me that we could see an erosion of this pre-market moves up here that we've got in equities. And part of that is when I started looking stuff earlier this morning, you can see here that we had moved down to about 4.72. We're actually moving negative on the day versus yesterday. Now actually moving back up, 30-year at 4.75. 10-year, same thing, has really since about 8:30 moved to the upside here pretty dramatically for treasuries, which means now we need to take a look. And of course, we see DXY also moving up, the dollar moving up here, had been down, when early this morning about 5 a.m. at 107.89, and as we can see now has skyrocketed up back above 108 to 108.23, looking like it wants to challenge yesterday's high of 108.26. So and part of that, if we look at markets, we do see the stocks has had a nice run this week. I mean, since Christmas, they have seen the Santa rally very nicely. On the 24th of December, that was down at 500, 496 to be honest with you. They've moved up to 507, so they have seen the Santa's rally over on the stocks. Big drop down on the Shanghai component here today, down 1.63%. So erasing all the gains there that they had seen. So their Santa rally has all but been erased here. It looks to be moving lower. And the Nikkei, which has been on a move up, sort of stalling out a little bit here over the last 24 hours. And again, they had seen a nice Santa's rally till yesterday and moving down again today. So that's what we're seeing here as we take a look at the tick and advanced decline. Tick right now slightly negative. It's been pretty volatile, but pretty much stuck in that area between negative 400, positive 400. Overnight, we do see advanced decline on the Nasdaq at negative 1190. So we know that we'll see a much bigger, 930 is when you get a better view of advanced decline, because there are so many stocks that don't trade 20, in the pre-market or post-market, that don't get it factored into this. Again, that's most of our indices. Let's take a look at the Mag 7, and today all 7 of them looking to open up in the green. We know that was not the case yesterday, where Nvidia eked out a small green day. All the rest were in the red. So again, what we tend to see is these little quick mean reversions. The question is going to be, does this hold at all today? Or like yesterday, what we saw a lot, if you look at the stocks, is any move up. If we look at the hourly here, any kind of move up is quickly sold off. We did get it, this morning. It's gone sideways, but most of these moves up have been sold off pretty quickly here. Again, we made that move up, sold off pretty quickly, made this move off, sold it off pretty quickly. Here, we didn't even really make a move up before we sold off quickly, but it has been, a sell into any kind of strength here lately. And if we look at the big crypto markets, green pretty much across the board here. You've got, XRP back at 212, Solana still below that 200. I like it below 200. Again, I liked it and told everybody at 170 when it was there a week ago or so to get in there. But we're looking pretty positive across most of them. Same thing on the crypto-based stocks. See most of them moving to the upside here so far. Same thing on pre-market trading on the ETFs after being slightly down yesterday. Look to be up nicely today. So Bitcoin maybe catching a little bit of a bid. MicroStrategy finally catching a little bit of a bid here, maybe holding above the 300 level, but definitely has been beaten up badly recently. Some of the smaller cryptos having better days. I see STX Stacks is having a nice day here today, along with MNT, both up nicely. And now if we take a look here at the movers and shakers this morning, if I can figure out where I put it. There we go. So some of the stocks moving, well, let's just do it this way. It's just a lot easier. So if we take a look here at our pre-market movers, like I said, MicroStrategy leading the way. And again, we see VeriSign moving up here. Although I will say, it hit a new high yesterday, 52-week high of 206. Still below that here this morning. We have VeriSign. We know most of the news there being Warren Buffett, and the investment there. Eastman Chemical with a nice little pre-market move up here this morning. Eastman Chemical. Revity, nice little pre-market move up. Tesla holding up nicely. So we do see some winners here so far. On the downside, we see Entergy down about 3.34%, Humana down 1.68%, McKesson down 1.18%. So healthcare and pharmacy, biotech in there. Fox Corporation down almost a point. Masco down 1.17. So not too much crazy going on there, to be honest with you. Not a huge amount of movement. If we take a look at pre-market pumpers, we see that we do have plenty of runners here this morning. This one's interesting. Aptorium at 478. Got a few that have made a second big move up here. Verify, interesting here. Verify me. Another one that's really interesting here. Micro algo pumping here big time. That's one I always like. It's running 640. Wow. Mullen Automotive. Oh, that's with the downside. I was like, wow, that's an interesting one. Faraday again in pumping. We talked about this one yesterday.